Hello. How you guys doing? Yo, what's up? Hey, how you doing? Hey, what's up? Hi, guys. Hello. Hi. I'll just use all of these. Anyway, I signed up for this website called Patreon.com. It's pretty much a website where you can pay me for the content that I create that you'd basically normally get for free. Isn't that great? And in the process of that, I will be able to reward you with stuff that is essentially completely worthless. Want to hear more? Let's get going then. So basically, if you guys follow me on Twitch, you know that I do 1 or 2 streams per week. I upload highlights and I write small, hopefully interesting reviews on Steam. Basically writing reviews of the games that have been played on the live stream, to let people know exactly what I thought of the game in written form. Sometimes not all my thoughts come across as clearly as they should on the live stream, and that's one of the reasons I write some of those down. I also edit all the videos that I do, and I pretty much manage everything related to the live stream, which goes from YouTube content to the Twitch content, like making the highlights themselves, editing all the videos, meaning editing all the information, making it correct, and all of that kind of stuff, to the graphics stuff as well. I don't hire anyone to do any of that, I make everything myself. The thing is though, I actually love doing all of this. I also like writing the reviews, and this has been something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, which is to make a website where I could actually write them down for you guys to read much easier than having to go through Steam, for example, where you might completely miss the whole review altogether. So this is one of the goals that I have, is to create a website, a sort of like a hub, a center for all the things related to the live stream, a home of sorts. I can't tell you exactly like how many hours I do each day or spend each day on average doing stuff related to the live stream, but I could pretty much say, if I had to guess, it's about 2 to 3 hours, plus the 2 live streams that I do every week, which sometimes they can be 6 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours, or even more, depending on like how interesting the game is. All I'm really saying is that I love doing this stuff, and I'm not complaining at all. If I didn't love doing it, I wouldn't put as much effort into it as I do, and as a result I spend gratuitous amounts of my free time doing this show. However, imagine if I actually had some funding behind the show. This would mean more live shows, and I could actually begin to create a weekly podcast perhaps, given if enough funding was reached. It would also mean better content, meaning I would put a lot more effort into written reviews, into the graphical content, and having a website would also tie all of the content together into one place where you can find it all, essentially. So that is why I'm doing this Patreon thing. But you might be asking, what the hell is Patreon? It's pretty much like Kickstarter, but for content creators like me who do stuff on the internet. It's for artists who do comics, it's for musicians who compose music, and it's for people who make video content on YouTube as well. You can pay $1 or $2 a month, or look at the more expensive options which will net you rewards, like pictures of Mr. Piggy humping everyday objects, to drawings and graphics for the contributors. And these are monthly things, you would receive these every month. I'm still kind of working on the details for each of the rewards, but the idea is to make something that would interest you guys, and make it something that you guys would like. I don't want you guys to feel like you have to pay me anything. Even if this flunks and it's a horrible idea and it doesn't work out, I'll probably still keep on streaming and doing the content that I do, because I simply love doing it. And I'll probably keep on doing it forever, for as long as I can. And I'm very grateful to just have you guys as viewers watching the show, and that alone has driven me to do it for so many years. So here's my promise. So my promise to you guys who are considering to becoming patrons for the show is that I won't be doing the same amount of content that I normally do. I will up the amount of streams, and with enough funding, I would build a website, start a weekly podcast, begin flooding it with content and stuff that's interesting to people who like video games and watch my live stream. The Patreon page already has some specific goals that will happen if a certain amount of money is reached, even if it is just for 1 month. Like the website, for instance, or hardware purchases, like next generation console for the sake of streaming exclusive titles for the show and then reviewing them, buying new capture hardware, and you name it, stuff that the show needs to improve, better equipment to replace the ones that I use. Essentially nothing has changed, pretty much, except that now you can do a monthly pledge and receive absolutely worthless rewards from me. You would also know that you support the show directly and you support what I do directly as well. But you would also see the specific goals and see how much money is needed to reach them and how much you help me get to these specific goals. And it would also make all of this very transparent. If you don't like Patreon, but you actually want to contribute, I've set another way for you to do that. There's a PayPal link available on the Patreon page itself, but I will most likely update the channel's PayPal link as well to a working one. There's also a lot of information on the Patreon page itself as to why I chose Patreon in the first place, so give it a read if you're interested to see my reasoning behind it. You could still subscribe to me as well on Twitch if you want to, but be aware that I only receive half of that money. On the subject of what I actually make, I do make a little bit of money from Twitch and YouTube combined. However, it is very minuscule, but it has helped me throughout the years for paying all the expenses needed, such as console purchases, games themselves, to capturing hardware, to recording hardware like this microphone I'm using right now, to the mixer, to the audio equipment, headgear. All of that comes from those contributions. You guys have been helping me throughout the years, helping and contributing. I'm eternally grateful for those who have done so. I don't think this show wouldn't have gone on if it wasn't for you guys. However, the money that I make through YouTube and Twitch isn't enough to pay rent, and I blame Adblock for that. I'm still eternally grateful for the people who have supported me throughout the years, but I thought this would be a better way for those who still want to support the show, to give them something back as I do it and make it as open as possible. If you don't want to contribute or can't, then that's just fine. I'm still happy to do the show just as I have always done it. You can also help in other ways, like spreading the gospel of Celgaming or posting it on blogs and Twitters and Facebooks and Reddits and whatever, and bring awareness, or just be a stalker like you always have and lurk in the shadows and laugh at me as I stream these games. I'm very content in how things are going on right now, but with your help, we might be able to turn Celgaming into something bigger, better, and amazing. So thank you for your time.